What's up, everybody? It is Josh the J System here. Welcome back to more WWE Supercard. Now, in our last episode, we left off on which was our campaign work. We had just finished Amateur number 42. We will be continuing forward from there. Um, Bit of an apology on what I had said in that video. I had said everything was going to try to get done on that day. It did not. I am trying to get caught up. Chances are I am not going to finish the Rumble 26 version of the campaign. So whatever I can get done tonight, which is currently the 3rd of March. I'm giving you guys the dates of when this is all happening. Hopefully we can get as much done as we can. If I am hoping at least I can get through mid card and I can at least be on main card, which would be the Rumble 26 tier. So even if I can't get the Maxine card, at least I got a plethora of cards, and then it's just 2 sets of tiers, which is another few extra videos just to pump out from that, because generally 42 of the matches usually takes about an hour, give or take. Be that as it may, I did get some fresh ink on Sunday, which is why more videos didn't go up, because of it's kind of exhausted from the work that did get done. I mean, for some might be like, oh, that's not much. For me, it was, because I was genuinely exhausted because I wasn't expecting to get it done. It was a last minute decision, but one that I wanted to get done because I've been meaning to get it taken care of for a while. For those of you who don't know, I did have a tattoo on my right arm, and well, I went with something that is sort of near and dear to me, especially because on this channel we're going to be doing some of this stuff in the future. I'm going to be covering the 9th game in the franchise, so let's hope no issues come from me revealing this. But yeah, so still waiting for some more of it to show on me, because I have to go in and get more done because there's still more shading that needs to be taken care of. So yeah, that's pretty much that. There's gonna be more. I'm probably gonna get more done on me as I go. I kind of like Resident Evil's kind of been my thing, and getting that done is just the first of many parts to it, because it's a franchise that is very near and dear to my heart. But enough about that. We'll talk about that in the future, and hopefully more we can do. I just want to make sure I have everything done that I can have done beforehand. Did I do the last of this? I want to make sure if I did. Okay. And bouts or draft picks. Just want to make sure those are all set at 0. If they are not, let's put them at 0. Okay. All at 0, as you guys can see. So we're going for a decent amount of time, so we'll see what happens. It's mostly going to be we're mostly going to be plowing through. I don't foresee me having too much issue here with any of these bouts, but we'll see what happens. We'll see where I stop off at, because I have a very specific time frame of where I want this video to end at. So we'll see how that goes. So each card is pro'd up for the most part. I'm doing pretty well with that. Everything else is just if you haven't seen it yet, that the latest item that was dropped from a pack in the store was of Danhausen, who had recently debuted, which somebody in my Twitch chat had mentioned this. That they had mentioned that they predicted that whoever came out of the box item in question was going to be specific for them. So points to that individual because they were right on the money with that. Unfortunately, not fast. We're not fast enough to really get Danhausen Pro, but like I said, with everything else going on, it was like a last second card, like being dropped into the game. So like right now, it's sort of like, hey, this is what's going on. This is what we're doing. A lot of stuff with obviously being able to pump out with the different matches that we've been able to get through. We're just finishing up this Rumble event, and they're pumping out another concurrent event, which is good because no matter what, we can still do more concurrent stuff with it. And no matter what, I think Super Showdown's probably going to be another thing that they're probably going to have with the items in there. And if it is the case, I say to anybody, immediately start using your Super Showdown bouts. I myself need to start remembering to do so. I took too long this time around. I managed to at least get the Bailey card from it. And I got the Bailey from the Rumble, but there's nothing else to really show off because like I haven't been able to do much more because, well, Rumble is pretty much done. There is not going to be a chance to do any more. The next event is supposed to be Then, Now, and Forever, which obviously the tagline for like when most of the PLEs or anything WWE ever pops up, that's their tagline, Then, Now, Forever. So that's the next event that they're playing off of, which is probably going to be superstars. I would imagine it's going to be superstars and females from the past, being that it's Ember tier might be a very possible chance that Kane could be one of the top cards just because. I'd like to see it where we had superstars from the past that we haven't seen yet in the game, which would be fantastic because when you look at the stars from the past that haven't been in yet, that have come and gone, I mean, like that it took so long. I think it was Valor before we saw Demolition in the game. LOD we haven't seen in the game in forever, and obviously they're in the Hall of Fame. Obviously, certain superstars you can never see in the game due to lawyer reasons why. And one in particular doesn't need to be even mentioned because of what happened to them, and the other one due to actions. But yes, two in particular probably won't see. But that leaves it open. The floor is still open for so many more. I'd have to go through the entire. I feel like we're going to have to at some point make a list. Like there's going to be a list of a future list of like who like even if we just took a list of like tiers or character superstars images just for the sake of argument, if we did superstar images, which I don't think I'm going to do the images superstars, just I think that one might be pushing it. We may try if we'll try on that one. I can't guarantee that will work because of like certain guidelines of on YouTube. But if for whatever reason, if it doesn't, then obviously know that if you don't see the video, then you know why. Like there might be, I'll do like, if anything, I can always do like a tier list of like, oh, we could say the supports, because the supports aren't really, you're not really going to copyright a ladder unless it's somebody within it, in which case if I have to, I'll see if I can work something around that. But then again, I've seen way worse used. So just like that, you're on through 49, nothing special. If only. It just couldn't be done. And if you didn't see, just for those who didn't, when you guys get this, that on this day, that the store did update on the event cards, because I did see it today and I did make some attempts at it, only because I was trying to fill in the void of all the event cards I didn't have. And well, let's just say didn't really do me much good, because I probably broke even with that, because as many as I got that I didn't have, like there were some that I had that I didn't have even have, and I got pros of, like Rhea Ripley Adventure, John Cena Adventure special edition cards. Just as much as I got them, I was getting Eon cards that I didn't have before. Oh shoot, you know what? I wonder if I remembered. Oh no, I put that onto that one. That was why. So I never finished him. A fortification. It might be a fortification one. To double check on that. I was thinking about one of the four Eon cards, the JC Mateo one. Currently, I would have a JC Mateo foil pro, but I do not, due to obvious reasons. I didn't have a second base for him, so that kind of just fell out. My mail cards, I was extremely close with finishing up. So we will, with this, we will just try and do as much as possible. Any of the Reward Mania stuff will immediately dump in, and apparently I'm already out of card room. That's... Oh, this is the part that's going to be the biggest pain. How many... Do I have that many of the Rumble cards? I'm just not aware of it. I could swear I turned them all in before. Guess I didn't. Cool. I can turn them in and collect reward 43. Okay. Well, at least that AJ Styles is worth it to dump away into fortifying. Hold up. Go to AJ real quick. AJ, where are you? But chances are, if anything, if the next time you probably see it, it's going to be a lot of. If you're already done, there's no point on that. When you see this next time, all the static mails are going to be gone. Unless I don't have the double star for them, which chances are that may not be the case just because I was doing this quick. So I want to get a few of these out. All right, so now we'll hit trainable. It felt like just as fast as I was getting stuff. I won't lie, just as fast as I was getting things, it felt like I was just as much as I was getting them. I was having to dump away more. Like you can see it here, right here, 4 cards, 5, 6 cards right there that I couldn't do anything with because I didn't have them yet. Let me stay with static. Like I said, I'm trying to go quick. Things don't always go the way we want them to, though. So yeah, because you got to remember there's also the concurrent event of the Rumble, so I am trying to do that stuff as I'm going, so at least with me being right outside of the draft board now, it makes it just a tad bit easier to hit it right away. Nice, quick 3. Nice. Very, very nice. I'm going to be able to grab 12. Maybe I'll get a few more rumbles to go with it. Should be everything but at this point. Works. Absolutely works for me. Okay, so with 11 left, that's all I have. It's unfortunate because I've kind of like backed myself into a corner, but I don't have any of certain directions with the females, so I'm kind of in that situation, and I could do more for myself, but the good news is I'll be able to at least clear the Dusty with a lot of the other cards and just go from there. Another 150. The one thing I will say, if by some miracle I manage to get the Austin, I'm going to be in my glories. I'm going to be honest about that. So every time we're just going to keep going and going, and now because we hit where we're at, just keep going until I run out of draft room. Because it'll make it so much easier. We'll see how much further I can get. And it's not necessarily that, like I said it's at the top of the video about my timing with with what I'm doing here. It's not going to be specifically that I'm going to end at the end of amateur tier. It's or amateur at the top of once I hit 84 of amateur. It's going to be more like I hit the end of when I've set myself for what I'm planning to do. So we just see where I'm at that point. It's a long climb, but obviously it's am I in the situation for a lot of reasons? Yeah. Could there have been chances that I could have? Was there times that I probably could have fixed it? Absolutely, but there's nothing, no one else to blame but myself of why I'm so far behind. And well, like I said, I'm not like too like upset over the fact that oh I don't have this card or I don't have that card because particularly even if I don't get the up arrows, I'll have a few that might actually push things backwards enough where I'll feel like okay, this works for me for now until I get to the next tier. Because every little bit will help. So even if, let's just go on a limb saying Blake Monroe doesn't really do much for up arrows, because I think it's just up arrows I'm kind of like really struggling with. Because if push came to shove, I'd start like proing everything but up arrows for the females because I know that's what I got left. I could do that, honestly. I might do that at some point, but I don't see a reason to do it right now. And even if I do it, it's going to be mostly just to make more room for when I do the draft board. So just like boom, 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 boom. So I don't have to keep stopping. See, I know, and I know this bears repeating of what I've said in the past. Static tier threw me off so badly of what it did to me that when it initially dropped, there was this like, we didn't know when static tier initially was going to drop when that had come out. So even I was like skeptical because nothing was even being said as to a new tier dropping. And when it did, it kind of like was just, there is a new tier dropping. Oh, good. Now I lost out on that card, and then I lost out on another one when I didn't get a chance to finish with static. But I was just so like I want to call it like I was in a burnout stage of because I was mad. I wouldn't even say I was mad as much as I was frustrated because nothing was ever said. Initially, when it had dropped, and when the Rumble, obviously, we knew when Rumble was dropping because that was obviously information was given to us that time. So I think I was frustrated, but I was frustrated in a way where it was okay, this happened. Obviously, I was like, it was just, it was there. There was not much to do about it. I mean, what do you do about it? grinding our way up this ladder now because the farther up we go, and the faster rate. Ooh. Can't make any promises of how well it'll go, but at least Jordan Grace is kind of a nice refresher and a booster. He's throwing threats of the barber at me with wrestling, cutting, and strutting. So now it's looking like a little bit of a lock situation. Even with Jordan Grace in play, that might still create a little bit of a awkward situation. Still going. I'm actually shocked. I should be hitting that wall soon where I have to do my draft picks. Sit out DT. Why am I just picturing that just being like an impaler? Just like an impaler DDT for some reason. That just might be me. I did recently just go back and finish up WrestleMania 1, so like, because I went back and I watched for the sake of like watching the Andre match, more so because I had nostalgia for it, and match was not the same as I remembered it. So I talked about it briefly when I was live. I was that I remember it completely differently than how it went down. Like, because I swear it was the other way around. Like, Andre was struggling a lot in the match because obviously his career was on the line over the 15,000, and I had seen it on the vaults. Like, I didn't see it live or anything like that because that was 5 years even before I was born. So I was like, this seems way different than what I remember. And I'm thinking like they may have edited it differently. Like it might have been done that way on the vault so it was edited to make it seem more like he was in more of a desperate situation than he actually was. And I just kept thinking like, this is weird. Because if you go back and you watch that match, you actually see a completely different side to what I'm actually. Now, you've heard it exactly as I just explained it. Now, that is not what happens. It's actually Andre pretty much just. He dog walks Stud through the entire match. I mean, there might be a few moments of where Stud gets some offense in, but it is rare at best. And I was just like sitting there going, like my mouth stood open the entire time. Like, what? like I I couldn't believe it. I was just like, I remember this match being like completely more competitive than this. And unless I had seen a completely different match, and that's the only thing that's running through my head is like maybe it was a different match I saw between the two of them, and that might be why I'm thinking that way. But and I tried to go back and I'm like looking for other matches that might have fit what I had seen when I was younger, when I was a kid, and there was like nothing fit. So it had to have been that match. All right, it's this, but there's nothing I'm going to pick up until I'll just leave that until after the tier. Okay, so back to campaign we go. So yeah, I was like, that was very weird as to why that was. I was like, okay. And I was like, okay, well maybe this was kind of like their thing of what they wanted to push for, like Stud being the major heel and Andre just absolutely having enough of this nonsense and deciding I'm just gonna absolutely just whoop you. Like in my head, it's all I could picture it. It's how they were trying to portray it, as if they were trying to start pushing Andre into that main event scene. But I don't even know if that's what the plan was at the time. Like I said, I could never like. There was a lot. They were betting a lot on those on that night. And if I recall, I don't think Wendy Richter hit that sit out DDT on that night when she was challenging for the women's title. Yeah, because Andre won his match, Wendy Richter won hers, and T won his. That's almost to the top of amateur. Dealing with the cosmic entity of the warrior. Yeah. Okay, before I do anything else, I'm going to bounce out real quick to take care of that. It's just prize at this point. Trying to see if I do this already. Yes, I did. Okay, makes sense. Trying to keep cleaning up my rewards as they're coming in so I don't forget. Because that's why I was running out of draft room so quick. Yeah. Perfect. Scared? As if. That's such a clever play on words. Highway to Hale. Nope, nope, nope. 67, is that next? Yes. Yes, indeed. Another 2 in the books. Hmm. The slow, methodical grind through Amateur is almost at its end. Boom. Batista and Rusev laying waste. Ooh. Boo. Let's see. Thing of note. Couple of Rumble cards. Clear up the last 11, and we're back at it. Nice. We can put number 70 in the books. So it starts to get a little more interesting as we keep going, because the higher up we go, the better the rewards are going to be, obviously. But in the same vein, it's like we're also going to. It feels like it'll be like 8 or 9 matches before I have to stop, jump out for the draft board. But in the same token, it's like I kind of want the draft board more than anything to be filled as fast as possible, because the faster I fill up the draft board, the chances of me getting more Rumble cards are obviously there. I will worry about that when the time comes. Looks like a grande americano is waiting for us in the next section. Oh yeah, this should be, if I'm numbering it right, since I already have 10, so I should end up with 55 draft picks at the end of, and able to defeat El Grande Americano. It sometimes is amazing, because when you start a journey like this, you feel like you're not going to get as far as you think. And it's like, oh, well, I'm already almost at the end of this section and on our way to the next one. Oba laying waste. And there's always a chance for a double fall from grace, really. There's always a chance of that. It just might be a coup de grace to a double fall from grace into an oblivion. Okay, with every little bit of what I just said there, it was all just chance because I started the match with Finn Balor just based was a pure luck that everything else fell into place like that. Because it very easily could have turned into a double female match. But it did not, so we were good. So I ended up calling it right. Let's see, that was an Oblivion, a Fall from Grace, and a second one into a Rough Rider. Your squad getting tired there yet, El Grande? Yeah. Onward we go. All gas, no brakes. Bada boom. No Liv Morgan in this one. How sad for me. right. We know what this means now. How many of these cards are going to get done? Okay. Now to the draft board. Well, so far so good. It's number 3. Two, one. As always. Absolutely, as always. Put as many in as possible at this point. It's like the dead man is waiting for us at the top. Can't lie, it's got me a little excited in my chest. Ooh. $79 coming at us. Whew. Yeah. That's how we do it. That'll get it done. Excuse me. The fatigue is real. Three bouts left. So, I am going to cut it here because I've unfortunately reached my time deadline as far as where I'm willing to go. So, thank you to everybody who stopped by to watch. I appreciate it. We will pick everything up in the next part. So we only got 2 bouts left before we are done with amateur, and we'll be on our way to, I believe, to be pro. And then it's just mid card and main card, which more than likely is going to be tapped on with another set, but at least within that scenario, I will be able to do more. So like the video if you're interested in stuff like this. Leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. This is Josh the J System signing out. Take care, everyone, and have a good night.